Tyson Foods is being investigated by the USDA. The investigation follows Tyson Foods' recent closure of 9 meatpacking plants across the country. Washington. The Packers and Stockyard Division is actively investigating Tyson Foods, one of the largest meat companies in the nation, according to interviews with contract growers and a USDA employee. The PSD, an arm of the U.S. Department of Agriculture, is tasked with investigating violations of the Packers and Stockyard Act and handing out enforcement actions. The act was created in 1921 to protect livestock and poultry producers from unfair, unjustly discriminatory, or deceptive practices. Previous coverage: Tyson Foods closing 4 chicken processing plants in cost-cutting move. The agency routinely investigates potential violations such as the suppression of meatpacking worker wages, failure to pay for livestock, and discrimination against contract growers. An investigation doesn't always lead to an enforcement action or penalty. The agency would not officially confirm or deny the existence of an ongoing investigation. PSD does not comment on any investigative activity or the absence thereof, the agency said in a statement provided to Investigate Midwest. As a regulatory agency, PSD closely monitors all industry participants, including meat packers and poultry companies, for compliance with the Packers and Stockyards Act. A USDA employee confirmed that an investigation is ongoing as of early August. Investigate Midwest is not naming the employee due to concerns about employer retaliation. The employee did not provide specific details about what the agency is seeking, but did say Tyson Foods is aware of the matter, and it is larger in scope compared to other PSD investigations. Tyson Foods is the largest chicken company in the country, with nearly $53 billion in sales last year. The company operates 183 chicken facilities in the U.S., including hatcheries, processing plants, and feed mills. The company contracts with nearly 4,000 chicken farmers nationwide. This investigation follows Tyson Foods' recent closure of 9 meatpacking plants across the country, beginning in early 2023. The company is also in active litigation for alleged violations of antitrust law. Tyson Foods did not respond to repeated requests for comment. Investigate Midwest filed a Freedom of Information Act with the USDA seeking records in May related to potential PSD actions against Tyson Foods after 2 former contract growers told a reporter they had been contacted by the agency. Contract growers said they were asked questions about the debt they took out to work with the company and their operations. The USDA denied the records request in June, citing a federal exemption for records that could be related to enforcement records for a pending or prospective investigation. The exemption protects law enforcement records if their release could reasonably be expected to interfere with enforcement proceedings. The relevant law enforcement purpose in this instance is enforcement of the Packers and Stockyards Act, the June response letter stated. Investigate Midwest has appealed the records denial and is awaiting a response from the department. The Packers and Stockyards Act has seen major updates in recent years, with the federal government showing an increased interest in the poultry industry. Recent updates include the required sharing of payment information between chicken companies and the contract farmers who raise the birds. The PSA has also been updated to prevent discrimination of livestock and poultry growers based on race, sex, age, or disability. The USDA is still developing a proposed rule to address problematic practices of contract growers taking out excessive debt to work with companies. The agency said it anticipates finalizing this rule by early next year. In May, Investigate Midwest reported that chicken growers who worked with Tyson were left with millions of dollars in debt after the company shuttered plants. Many of them faced bankruptcy and foreclosures, while others retired, found work outside of farming, or sold their land to pay off debt. Peter Karstensen, an antitrust expert and emeritus law professor at the University of Wisconsin Law School, said the PSD typically builds investigative cases against companies to bring about a formal complaint alleging a violation of the act. It is somewhat more plausible they are seriously looking at whether they can make a claim that Tyson violated the provisions of the Packers and Stockyards Act by inducing various kinds of investments and then turning around and closing the plants, he said.